Good morning, Pacers. Hey, Pace, of course I got your box and everything, but I gotta be honest with you, bro. I still haven't even opened it. I'll open it today. I've, for a minute there, I had left it over at the grow house. Then it's back here. I'm making a bunch of excuses. You're really kind to send me something. I'll open it today. Thank you, bro. I'll get to that today. How are the Pacers doing, anyways? How are the Pacers doing this year? How's your team doing? I need to look up the Pacers. How are the Pacers playing so far this year? You know the Lakers are smoking it. The Wazzy. Good morning, Waz. Okay, Pace, that's all right. Good morning, everybody. Michael Allen, Billy D. Nerdy, Four Leaf, Brian C. Brian, Arthur. I see Arthur. You love, okay, Pace, okay. Good morning, HB. Herbie Von Werby dancing with his buddies kebab. There are threes shooting team on Pace. Sean P. There's Sean. Hi, Sean. Laura. Laura always makes my day to know Laura's out there. Hope you're feeling good, Laura. Hope you're feeling divine. Exception. Often exceptional. Exceptionally exceptional often. You guys want to see something creative? Look, check this out. Check this guy out. This is different. Look at the old guy. Probably has a little bit of experience in his craft. He might have a little bit of experience in his craft. Let's see. Spray can. I don't need no stinking computer. Brian, good morning. Brian thinks it's lucky guesses. Maybe, Brian. Good morning. That's skill set right there. Gosh, how many cans of paint has that guy mixed up? That's pretty cool right there. That's really cool. Is Cleany here? Is Cleany here yet this morning? Did you really, Herbs? Herbs, you've done everything. Especially dancing. You're a heck of a dancer up there on the hill with your friends. Is Cleany here? I'm waiting for Cleany. Oh, look at J.W. Owen, chemist. I need to know if Cleany's here. How about Niffer Mama? There's a new menu out. They put out a new menu. Okay? They put out a new menu. Which is, you could go directly to them or you could go to the website and ask us. Okay? Not here yet? Okay. Okay. So there's a new menu, and I'm just going to give you a sneak preview of one of the things that Cleany has come up with. Cleany is offering this situation. Oh, Bubblegum Killer, I just want your happy smile. And tell your mom I said hello too. Check it out at the site, Penny. Check out the site. I'm not sure what is active over there. Kelly, say hi to your mom, please. Give her a big old pop hug. Penny, we'll ask Sandy. I'll ask Sandy, okay? Because sometimes he has stuff and it's not on there, okay? You need to call your mom more, though now you have to. Not have to, but now just call her and say, hey, Pops told me to give you a hug, okay? Is Cleaning here? Has Cleaning showed up? Good morning, Saul. Has Cleaning showed up? Because I want to show you guys something. No? Well, we're going to show you anyways. Okay? Nate, hang around, you'll find out. Okay? Not yet. Oh, that's okay. We're going to show you. So, Cleany has come up with this. We're going to call it a, what do you want to call it? Hot dog tech? Hot dog tech. Okay? It's a unique technique. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you for deleting that, Penny. So first, Cleany gets the casing off your sausage. What the hell? What is going on? That was not cleaning. I'm taking it all back. Okay? I take it all back. That wasn't cleaning. That was some rando. Great idea. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Okay, thank you, Herbie, for doing that. Thank you for telling people. That's very nice. Go ahead and block Nate. That's unnecessary, Nate. Come on. Come on, first I'm in gynecologist, now I'm creeping cancer boy. Nate, go play. Go play somewhere else. All right? Thank you, Penny. All righty. We're not taking it personal. Come on. We don't need that energy. I don't take it personal, promise. Who needs that energy? We're talking about smoking hot dogs here, okay? I'll spend some time in the reflection pool. I forgot about our reflection pool. Yeah, spend some time. Come back when you grow up. Okay, smoking hot dogs. The truth is, though, the menu is available online, and you guys could go directly to Cleany. He says he's got stuff ready to go. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Will I ever get over this cold? I just don't know. Let's talk about a couple of things. Okay. Is Matthew Seliger here? Is Matthew Seliger here this morning? Penny, what's wrong? Is Matthew Seliger here this morning? We'd like to... Queenie, good morning, my love. We just showed your newest offering on... You're going to have to go back and watch the beginning of the show. Okay? Did anyone send Kim some money with a note 32? So somebody help Kim. It's weird when we get stuff and we're not exactly sure who sent it, right? But we can figure it out. Snow delay. Are you snowing there, Queenie? It snowed here yesterday for the first time this season. A light snow. I looked outside. It looked like my front yard was colonizing. I go, what? That's a big cake. That was a big cake. Okay. I wish Matthew Seliger was here right now because he's a lawyer and he lives in Chicago. He's a lawyer. 6 inches. That's a lot. He's a lawyer and he lives in Chicago. Key Ren, who listens to us all the time here too, she's a lawyer. She lives in Chicago. They would both be able to tell us if this is true. And if somebody wants to do a little research, Google it. Tell me if this is true. According to this Rando facto, it's not a nice one. It's actually terrible. This is what kind of Rando facto this is. You ready? It was illegal to show your face in Chicago if you were ugly before 1974. Are there ugly police? Are the police themselves? How do they? Who decides, Badge? Who's on the ugly police force? What? How could that be? How could it be? Who decides? You know what, sir? We're gonna have to take you to jail. Why? Why? How come? Well, it's like I was a hottie, so I didn't have to worry. I went to Chicago all the time. Wow. It was illegal to show your face in Chicago if you were ugly before 1974. None of that computes for me. None of it. 1974 is not that long ago. Okay? It's just not. And then I still want to know, who's the ugly police? And notice what I'm saying, ugly police. Are the police ugly or are they policing ugly? I'm confused. Somebody Google that and tell me if it's true. Can somebody Google that up for us? Okay? While you're at it, Google this one. How about this one? This would be for me personally, I would consider this an awkward job. I would consider this awkward. To be a vasectomy doctor. I know they have to be out there and everything, of course, and I'm not making fun of them. They exist. But it's just not a job I'm like, can I be one? Nah. I'm just gonna grow mushrooms or something. Okay? No. A vasectomy doctor would be awkward for me. And yet some guys have no problem with it. Some people are even born sort of predestined to have that as a job. One of the best vasectomy doctors found in Austin, Texas, is named Dr. Dick Chop. Doctor, Dr. Chop. It's true, nerdy. It's true. Oh, God. Richard? I'm sure his real name's really Richard, but no way. I'm skipping my appointment, RX. This guy was 6 and he knew what he was going to do. He already knew. I know what I'm supposed to do. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Penny. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay. In July 2016, after a night of drinking with friends, has anybody ever done something really kind of dumb after a night of drinking with friends? No tattoos. I kept away from the tattoo parlor. But I've done a dumb thing or two. Jumped off a roof into a pool, the shallow end. Silly stuff, right? No tattoos. How about this one? So you're out drinking. July 2016, after a night of drinking with friends, a 33-year-old British man, Simon Smith, old Simon, he had such a good time that he changed his name to Bacon Double Cheeseburger. Yeah, I'll never forget that night. How you doing, Bacon? Okay, I'll never forget that night. Emily, what the hell? What were they doing with Bacon Double Cheeseburgers that was so fun that he had to name himself that? What? What the heck? People are funny. People are really funny. How about this one? This is a true story. On the top floor of the U.S. Supreme Court building, top floor, U.S. Supreme Court, there's a basketball court. That court is named the highest court in the land. I get it. I totally get it. Highest court, well, I get it. What kind of a profession? Okay, no, Pacers, it's true. Okay, it's true. The fella that invented the cotton candy. Okay, what kind of a profession do you think he had? Guess his profession. Go ahead, guess. Greeny, I love you. I miss Greeny. What kind of profession? Cotton candy. The worst thing in the world. Insulation grower. Oh, what kind of a job do you think the inventor of cotton candy? Badgie, you're so good at this. Badgie. He's absolutely right. It was a dentist. What? What the hell? What are you doing, Doc? You know what he's doing. He's trying to create a bunch of clients. How about this one? Kim. Jonathan K will know this one. Jonathan K all day, because Jonathan K is a scientific genius. So's Kim, but she's a physicist. Listen to this silly one, Arthur. On April Fool's Day, a joke turned bad when 2 DJs in Florida told fans that their tap water, oh no, oh geez, look out you guys, your tap water right now, in the area that you're hearing me, it is currently emitting dihydrogen monoxide. Dihydrogen monoxide is coming out of your faucets right now. This resulted in a serious panic, And the DJs were suspended. And they had to pay a fine. The funny part is that dihydrogen monoxide is supposed to come out of taps because it's water. Dihydrogen, H2, get it? The H and the 2, di. Monoxide, one oxygen, right? H2O. These guys, they got suspended and they had to pay a fine. Okay? April Fools. Okay, so don't do that. Don't do that. All right? Japan. Japan, they're very proper in Japan. They don't talk about sex out loud like we do here in America. Certainly not about Dr. Chop. Okay? They would not talk about Dr. Chop. They're so shy about genitalia stuff. They're really not sure certain things. Let me give you an example. In Japan, the workers of the Maruyama Zoo were attempting to get 2 hyenas to mate for 4 years. 4 years, I tell you. We're working at it. These 2 hyenas, they're just not... They found out that the 2 hyenas were both males. Who didn't know that on day one? Who didn't know that on day one? I gotta get a girl and I gotta get a boy and I gotta put them together. 4 years, we're not looking. What are they doing in there? Are they doing it yet? What the? Shy, I think. It's shy. Billy, dude, they need a new zoologist, don't they? What? No. 4 years. Okay, no. You gotta look, it's between the legs, somewhere in there, I know it is. It shouldn't be that hard on a hyena. Okay? Okay. You guys want a couple more? You guys want a couple more? Oh, how about this? How about this? You guys want a couple? How do you do your job without looking, right, Mary? Okay, we're going to do a couple more. This one's going to be a good one. Edie Simmons. Edie Simmons, she's an aging woman. Aging woman. She's an old lady. Okay? And she has a bucket list. Okay? She lives in Missouri. She has a bucket list. And Herbie went and looked up female hyena genitalia. Thanks, Herbs. Okay? So she's an aging girl, and she's got a bucket list. Is Edie Sims here? Why, yes. Edie, we've got to take you to jail. Turn around. Snapped handcuffs on her and took her to jail. She spent about 15 minutes at jail. They processed her in, processed her out. She went home and she checked it off of her bucket list because I always wanted to get arrested. The cops played along. We'll go arrest the old girl. It's on her bucket list. That's pretty... The police officers were happy to handcuff her and take her to the police station so she could reach her goal. Okay? Edie! What the... Hey, that's a bucket list. We're not making fun of her for it. Okay? This is a joke, but it's not even funny. This is a joke. I'm going to tell you guys a joke, This joke is from 1900 BC. Nerds like, I don't know if that's cute or wasteful. How many tax dollars did that cost? It's cute. We'll give it to Edie. She paid a lot of taxes over her life, I'm sure. Okay? Fred's like, the police will always help you with that. It's the releasing you part. Nerdy, it's gotta be cute, okay? Give her a break. How about this one? Who wants to hear one of the oldest jokes in recorded history? One of the oldest jokes in recorded history. You know the funny part? Well, ha ha ha, pun intended. You know the funny part about this? Okay? Is they're telling jokes about the same stuff that we tell jokes about. Exact same stuff. 1900 BC. That's a long time ago. That's like almost 4,000 years ago. And they're telling jokes. First of all, I didn't know that they could joke 4,000 years ago. I thought everything was super serious. It was life or death. I find out you can actually tell a joke. Can you imagine? Yeah, nerdy. A guy walks into a pyramid. Billy D, how'd you know? How'd you know a fart was involved in this joke? 1900 years ago, one of the very first recorded jokes. And of course, it has to have a fart in it. It's got a fart in it. It's not funny at all. It's not. I'm telling you, when I read it to you, you're going to go, you're going to go. And that's not even the funny. The funny part isn't the joke. The funny part is that they're laughing. They're doing fart jokes 4,000 years ago. I thought we just started fart jokes when I was in grade school. One of the oldest jokes in recorded history was found from 1900 BC in ancient Sumeria. The Sumerians, okay? I thought they were making mathematical equations and stuff in between, nerdy. The joke translates to, here's something that never happened from the beginning of time. A young wife farting in her husband's lap. It's not funny. It's really not. Let me read that one to you again, okay? What the hell is she doing? It translates directly. It says this. RX, I don't think it was a joke. I agree with you. I think it was a heating technique. Okay? Here's something that has never happened from the beginning of a time. A young wife farting in her husband's lap. Lost in translation. Okay? That's creepy. I'm not repeating it. Okay? Anyways, it blows my mind. That's the whole joke, Pace. That was it. Pace is like, where's the punchline? That was the punchline, sitting on her husband's lap. Okay? Kim's like, that's how you get him to move. You're creepy, Kim. Does it work? One of the oldest jokes ever, and it's got to have a fart in it. Oh, what is wrong with us? 4,000 years, you'd think we'd grow up? You'd think we'd grow up after 4,000 years? No, we still laugh and joke at farts. Okay. How about this one? Okay. Farts have been funny for eternity, basically. Arthur, that one went down in history. No, seriously. How they actually translated it from a Sumerian transcripts. Okay. I've spent way too much time on that one. I love knowing that we're human. I love knowing we're still human. How about being kind of a Maybe not the sharpest knife in the drawer, human. How would you like to be that guy or lady? This one. I'm going to close with this one today. Ready? This one. Oh my goodness. I gotta just read it. No lead up. A woman. This couldn't have happened, but I can see it happening. I can see it happening right now. Okay? A woman once took part in a search for a missing tourist in Iceland. There's a missing tourist. The alert goes out. Everybody's looking for her. Oh no, where's this missing tourist? Hours later, the woman realized that everybody was searching for her. She's in the search party. Looking for, I'll help. Who are we looking for? Hours later, she finds out that they're all out there looking for her. How do you tell the search party? How do you tell her search party? Bubblegum, how do you tell them? Hey guys, I think you're looking for me. That's gotta be funny, man. That's gotta be funny. If you're in the search party, are you mad at her? Okay, they might have had a description, Bubblegum, but not the picture. Okay, if you're in the search party and you find out it's her, are you mad at her? Do you turn around? Like you're freezing. It's Iceland. Don't think it's like some warm search. Like, I'm looking for people. Did she get the reward? Kim wants to know. Oh, that's a good one. That's like that kayaker. Okay. I don't know, man. I think I'd be a little... I wouldn't take it personal because I'm practicing the agreements, but I might be a little frustrated. Okay? Oh, that's some good stuff, you guys. Thanks for letting me crack jokes this morning. They're not even jokes. Those are real stuff. That stuff's happening out there. Give me 5 people that liked Rando factos this morning. I haven't stopped laughing in 20 minutes. Stop it, Pops. Okay. I have 2 different napkins over here, one for my nose and one for my eyes. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I hope we're all having as much fun as I am. Okay. Let's do a true-false giveaway. True-false giveaway. Let's do it quick. I'm going to read 3 statements. You're going to tell me if they're true or false. But wait till I read all 3 and then answer all at one time. And only answer one time and let give everybody a chance. First 3 people to get it correct on my screen are going to move forward to the spin to win round. Okay? If you've already spun this week, I'll probably look for somebody else. We'll see. First statement. Are you ready? Here we go. Human skin regenerates every week. True or false? Number 2, the average human sneeze can be clocked at 100 miles an hour. True or false? Number 3, humans lose an average of 75 strands of hair a month. True or false? Go. What are your answers? Okay, I got my first three people with the correct answer. I'm going to read the answers, and then I'm going to tell you who those three people were. The three answers. Human skin regenerates every week. False. It regenerates every 28 days, approximately on average. We lose approximately 0.001 ounces of skin flakes every hour. Number two, so that was false. Number two, the average human sneeze can be clocked at 100 miles an hour. True. And to be sure to cover your nose, a sneeze can create up to 100,000 droplets. 100 mile an hour sneeze. So that's true. And then thirdly, humans lose an average of 75 strands of hair a month. False. Humans lose about 75 strands in one day. One day, we're shedding sheet. We're shedding everywhere. Skin falling off, hair falling out, 100 mile an hour sneezes. Somebody just said, what a creepy, where did these, I don't want to ask these questions again. False, true, false. False, true, false were the three answers. The first three people on my screen that I saw get a false, true, false. Kelly, Bubblegum Kello, you're number one. HB, you're number two. Okay? And J.W. Owen, you're number three. So there's 1, 2, and 3. There were a couple other people right after J.W. Owen, but those were the first three. And it's going to number 2, HB. What's going to him? I'm going to send you about 3 grams, 3+ grams of supplemental supplements. Okay? So HB, if you could get me your address, we'll supplementalize you. And we'll get that out to you as soon as you get us your address. Okay? We'll do some more of that when we're done here today. We'll play another one of those. In the meantime, we have to go talk about women mycologists. Okay? Penny Peck, thank you. HB, thank you. Okay, let's talk about women mycologists. Where are you at, girls? Yesterday, we sort of left off with the idea that women were the knowledge keepers. Excuse me. And for centuries and centuries and centuries, their knowledge was taken from them, sort of plagiarized by men and the scientific men of their era. And they were even, in many, many cases, prosecuted for their ability to heal, and prosecuted to death. And we're talking in numbers that we didn't really realize, and it's becoming more and more available to us in history. You know, they were hidden numbers. They're not numbers they're proud of. But tens of thousands of people killed practicing holistic medicines. And most of them were women. If not, it's the hugest majority of them were women. And then when they came along, 1850s, they began these learned societies in Great Britain. And women weren't allowed in the society, but they would, if they knew something, they could write a paper. A man would read and deliver the paper and get the credit for it. But behind the scenes, some women were actually writing and delivering some of this information. And it wasn't really until the 20th century that we actually see women getting some of the credit that they deserve. And of course, I don't believe it's even close to all yet. So, we were talking about Beatrix Potter as we left yesterday. Beatrix Potter, right at the turn of the century. Phenomenal mushroom illustrator and morphologist. She knew so much about mushrooms. One of the leading minds about mycology in her lifetime. and wrote a great paper that's still a great paper today. And she ended up taking her illustrating skills and turning them into illustrations of Peter the Rabbit. Peter Rabbit. Go back and look at the original Peter Rabbit drawings. There's some beautiful drawings, like very artistic woman, along with the whole creative stories and everything. So we left off at Beatrix Potter. Then we find behind the scenes in some of these laboratories that they're coming up with. Well, we know Madame Curie. Now, not in mycology, but she was certainly working alongside her husband. And she ended up getting quite a lot of historical credit. But there's a lot of women like that that were working alongside of their husbands in laboratory settings as their assistants and their preparers of things. And they even were coming up with ideas, and then the husband would get the credit for it. And we have a really good example of this with the guy that came up with agar, and when the same guy, and then petri dishes. Women were actually behind the majority of that. At the time, they were making stock, beef stock. They had boiled down stuff in cauldrons, and you'd end up with this, almost what we still have today, but a lot thicker version. And we would have beef stock. Well, the same process that the women were using to create this beef stocks, they ended up using to create agars. And without an agar, and we're talking the 1880s forward, we couldn't have been able to do even close to the scientific research we do in laboratories to find out about bacterial growth and et cetera, et cetera. So agar is really one of the most groundbreaking, is that right, Masked? It's one of the most groundbreaking things in science in forever, and very few people pay attention to that. The pivotal discovery, I'm in page 82 of Radical Mycology, okay? The pivotal discovery of the use of agar for microbiology and mycology work is also credited to a female scientist. In 1881, Fanny Hess suggested the use of agar to her lab partner and husband, Walter Hess, while they were working as lab assistants for the famous father of mycology, Robert Koch, Koch. Koch is the big shot scientist. He has a laboratory assistant named Walter Hess. Walter Hess has an assistant. She's named Fanny Hess. And they're working in the laboratory to help support whatever it is that Walter Koch is learning and promoting. Okay? When the use of agar was found to be superior to other gelling agents, Koch claimed the discovery as his own, and he put it to use to further both scientific research as well as his career. Neither Fanny nor Walter were given any recognition for this discovery, while Koch's name rose to fame. It was not until recently that the Hesses were given the credit they deserve for their discovery and the uses of this ingredient, which has significantly, I kind of highlight that because it has significantly contributed to many advances in the mycological studies over the last century. We really couldn't do almost anything if we didn't have agar. Now we have Flora W. Patterson. So give me a round of applause for Hesses, for Walter and Fanny. Give me a round of applause. I'm not joking. If we were in a class right now, I'd say, let's give a round of applause to Walter and Fanny. A little late. Doubt they can hear us, but it's our intention is what matters. Okay? Our gratitude's what matters. Flora W. Patterson. Cleaning, now we have Flora W. Patterson. She comes along. There you go, 5280. Sister Fanny! Now we go, Flora W. Patterson. 1847 to 1928. She was the first female plant pathologist to work for the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA. She later went on to become the department's microbiologist in charge of mycological and pathological collections. First one was a woman. Just 2 years prior to employment with the USDA in 1895, Patterson had attempted to complete her studies at Yale University. To her dismay, Yale wasn't admitting female students at that time. So she had to attend Radcliffe College and received her formal mycological training. Then she went to work at Harvard University Herbarium as an assistant. She didn't give up, did she? She goes, well, if I can't go to school there, I'm going to end up getting a job there. Okay, and then I'm going to go on to become the first person in charge of the department's mycological charge of mycological and pathological collections. Not done. During her nearly 3 decades with the USDA, Patterson identified many novel fungal infections, which also helped developing a means for successfully eradicating several detrimental blights. Fungal blights on certain, especially plants and forests and things like that. Identifying it and helping eradicate those fungal blights. We're talking about helping heal the earth. That's phenomenal. Moreover, Patterson expanded the U.S. National Fungus Collection by over 90,000 specimens, an effort that benefits the scientific community to this day. We're still looking at her collection. During her career, she hired 3 other female mycologists to work with her. Doesn't sound like a lot, but I bet she didn't have a big department or a big budget. Though women in many countries today have the freedom to work in scientific fields, their presence in mycology is still a minority. There are currently no statistics on how many women practice in the field of mycology, but looking at science more broadly, only 30% of the world's researchers are women. Despite making up nearly half of the U.S. workforce and half of the college-educated, women in the U.S. hold fewer than 25% of the STEM jobs: science, technology, engineering, and math. Less than 25%. Only 11% of the top academic science positions are held by women in the European Union. And women are awarded less than 3% of the Nobel Peace Prizes in science. Possibly at the heart of this perception is that women do not have the skills for science, an unfounded stigma that is perpetuated and spread throughout many modern cultures. One recent study examining this subtle phenomenon of oppression found that 60% of Europeans and 93% of Chinese respondents do not believe that women are cut out for sciences. 67% of Europeans and 93% of Chinese think women, you guys really aren't quite cut out for the sciences. Even Tim Hunt, a Nobel Prize-winning biochemist, said he states that women cause problems in a laboratory. Despite the gender-based barriers that persist to this day, many women can be found working in the field of mycology. whether in higher education, innovative businesses, or as part of a community based on organizations. There's a whole group out there, Moms Who Microdose. Keep it up. Kathy Hodge of the Cornell Plant Pathology Herbarium focuses on her work of fungal biodiversity, aiming to expand collective knowledge of fungal species, especially those related to fungal pathogens. Hodge is also the founder of the Cornell Mushroom Blog, which she uses to demystify molds and mushrooms in the public eye, and she teaches her children and her students to do the same. Sue Van Hook is the chief mycologist of the New York-based company Ecovative Design, uses her skills in taxonomy, cultivation, and education to help the company develop sustainable alternatives to plastics for packaging and building materials, and perhaps sending to the moon. Giuliana Furci is a Chilean. She promotes fungal conservation in Chile. Chito Govera is the founder of the Future of Hope Foundations in Zimbabwe, Africa. She's committed to empowering young orphans and women in her region by offering mushroom cultivation education and support to those interested in starting their own mushroom farms. Mushroom saints, I tell you. Since before the founding of modern mycology by men like Carolius Clausus and Francis van Sterboek, women have maintained an in-depth and fertile understanding of the fungi queendom. I like that he didn't call it a kingdom. And though this is just a small sampling of the women dedicated mycologists in the world, there is living proof that women continue to be critical holders and transmitters of mycological knowledge. Kim, 5280, Deborah Pearl, etc., etc. Identifying influential women in projects like these in the public domain and within the context of our own lives is essential for creating a mycelial network of support and mentorship for the future generations of women within the global mycological community. People of all genders and all types and all body types are encouraged to support the continued rise of women in a new era of the fungal revolution. I couldn't have said it better myself, so I just read it. And I'm not grandstanding. I can't believe something more. 25%. We need more women. And we're doing a really good job here at T. Matter of fact, women. Women only. Women only that are here right now. Women only. Give me a number between 1 and 50. 1 and 50. You can put up to 3 of them on your line at one time. Do it as many times as you want. Women only. This is a girls only game. We got to give the girls something. Get out of the way, guys. Women only. Okay? Women only. Give me just women only and give me numbers. And once you've said 3, go give me 3 more. Because I need to get this number. Okay? I'm about to give you guys a hint. Women only. Girls, girls, girls. Ladies. Dolls. I call them dolls. I don't care. People are like, Pops are going to cancel you if you call them dolls. And I'm like, I'm in my 60s. I can call them dolls. Okay? I can call them dolls if I want. So let's move the numbers between 40 and 50. Between 40 and 50. I still haven't seen the number. Give me a number between 40 and 50. 40 and 50. I'm never, there you go, penny pack, penny pack, penny pack, Penny's packing it, Penny. Penny's a girl. 43. Penny, that's a 43 right there. Penny is packing. Pulverizing it. Thank you, Penny. Send me your address. Penny, I have your address because I have your address. You're going to get a 3 gram supplementary pack. Okay, and you can't tell me no, and you can't tell me to send it to someone else. If you want to do something different with it, you can. Okay, so off to Penny it goes. We love women. Okay, and I don't mean that in a creepy way. I promise. I mean that in a way of purely celebrating and being grateful. My dad taught that to me. My dad was a jerk in so many ways, and I just say it out loud. He was a jerk. He's a tough man. The great Santini. The great Kerberini. The great Kerberini. He was mean. He didn't know how to do it different. He just didn't. But I'll tell you one thing, and this is a true story. I'll tell you one thing. I have an older brother, and then myself. We're the 2 boys in the family. And my dad set an example. I wasn't even conscious. He was just being who he was. But he set an example of how a husband should act towards a wife. My dad was extremely thoughtful of my mom. And he was a construction worker. He really wasn't. He had a PhD in philosophy, but he refused to use it. Long story. So he went to work as a laborer. And he moved up, and now he's a construction worker. And by the time I'm like 12 years old, my brother's 15, and we're in the cab of his truck. And every day of the summer, we had to go work with him. Little worker bees. And my dad was getting paid piecework, so the more he could put on in a day, the more money he would get. So he had 2 worker bees with him. And it was really good for my brother and myself looking back, because I learned construction and I ended up having a couple of construction companies. But you didn't like it when you were a kid. When you're a kid, you want to go play like everybody else, but I'm out there, being a laborer on my dad's job sites all summer long until I graduated from high school. But it was good stuff, and my dad knew it, but we didn't. And we'd drive to work in his truck, and there were the 3 of us in the cab of the truck, and my dad driving, of course. I'm the littler guy, so I'm in between, and my brother on the outside. And you drive down the road, and every time, when you're driving down the road, you see a pretty girl. I got to be honest with you, my head just sort of goes, and it's almost like I have to look at her butt. That's a natural reaction for me. I think a lot of men are not going to go anywhere with them. We're just still driving. We're just keep going. But our heads sort of swivel. Accidentally, they swivel. Weird. A man swivel. And this is a true story. I'd be riding in the truck. There'd be a girl. My dad's head, at least in the time his boys were in the truck, my dad's head never swiveled. Never. Ever. And I remember that. I'm like a little kid looking to see, is he gonna, because I'd sure like to swivel, but I have to swivel with him. I can only swivel if he swivels. If he's looking straight ahead, I have to look straight ahead. Brother next to me, I'm sure he's going through the same thing. Okay, so we're non-swivelers. That was the first lesson. Okay, I'm nerdy. His head never swiveled. Okay, he was teaching his boys to respect women, and we didn't even know it. All right, I don't know if he swiveled when we weren't there. I believe that he didn't. But he was a non-swiveler. Same thing at the job sites. Every job site, there isn't a guy in the world that hasn't wolf whistled at a job site. Not one, except Eves. Eves never did. If we're sitting at a job site and guys are starting to woo some girl, he'd come on, boys, let's go. He'd get up and he'd walk out of the room. And he'd make us follow him. And I'd be all embarrassed. I'm like, how come we have to leave? Because they start telling a dirty joke. They start talking about women. In any kind of a locker roomy, which happens on every job site, the minute it started happening, boop, let's go, boys. We're out. He started training his workers, the guys that he worked with. You don't tell jokes like that when Eves is in the garage. When we're at lunch and the boys, you just don't do that. And he never once had to go say, I'm going to kick your ass if you do it. He did it by example. He did it by example. He showed us how to treat women at a very a formative stage. And I'm going to be honest with you. You guys know I tell you the truth here all the time. I've never once had a relationship with a girl. I'm in a steady relationship that I fooled around on her. Never. My dad would. We watched the relationship. My dad couldn't have fooled around. Never one time in my whole life have I fooled around on someone. I get it. I know it happens. And I'm not saying you guys have heard how imperfect I am in so many other ways. Never raised a finger to a lady in a threatening manner. And never fooled around on someone. Never. And it wasn't because it was something my dad ingrained in me. My brother's the same way. My brother had one marriage. The woman was a policewoman. After that, he married one other time. They're just the most beautiful relationship. I didn't continue my marriage, but I never fooled around in it. Never once. And whenever I've been in a relationship, if I'm in a relationship, that's it. I don't swivel. I swivel if I'm not in a relationship. Oh, yeah, I'm a swiveler. But if I'm in a relationship, I owe it to the relationship not to swivel. And I don't. It's a thing that my father, one of the things that I can thank him for. Swivel and sizzle. Yeah, your whole relationships will sizzle if you swivel. And it's just true. And I gotta, to this day, thank you, Dad. There are other things he programmed in me, some really crappy stuff. But that wasn't one of them. That was not one of them. One of them. So, men, be careful how you act, and even the randomest things that we do, our kids are watching us. And they're learning lessons. And they're seeing if you can respect women. And the whole reason I brought this whole thing up is I grew up with this innate respect for women. Innate. It was built into me in my home. And then to watch my mom prosper. Non-college educated women, and she went on to run a division at General Dynamics. Men, engineered, masters working for her. And she's running the whole show. And her degree on the wall was a picture of her 6 kids. Everyone else has got master's degree, everything. On her office, you'd walk in, there'd be a picture of her 6 kids on the wall. That was it. That's her degree. I get goosebumps when I think about my mom. And so, yeah, women, I need to continue to love and value you. King I Did. We're going to talk about it Tuesday. We're going to start reading out of it Tuesday. So hang in there till Tuesday. Okay? General Dynamics in Ontario, California. Nicodemus and the Truth. Nicodemus and the Truth. What was that, Bubblegum? Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. That's a good story. Nicodemus and the truth. Let's read this and we're going to get out of here, okay? Shout out to the moms and the dads who didn't swivel. Swivel. Now I have a whole new saying. That's neat, Sharon. Nicodemus and the truth. Nicodemus asked Jesus. We're not doing religion here, but these are two historical figures, okay? Nicodemus asked Jesus, how can one be born again? Mr. Phillips, thou shalt not swivel. Is that like the 11th commandment? Thou shalt not swivel. What was that, Kelly? There was the first swivel. Mary the one swivel. You guys are going to crack up from now on. Don't forget swiveling. And men, you're going to do it. You're going to drive. All of a sudden, your head's going to start going like this. You know, I remember Pop's talking about swiveling. What's wrong with us? I often think of Nicodemus, the one Pharisee who secretly believed in Jesus and who would meet with him anonymously at night to have deep spiritual conversations. Again, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about a mystical teacher that this guy kind of really believes in him. And he's gonna, I can't do it during the day when everybody's watching, but I'm gonna sneak out at night and I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna get some spiritual lessons from this guy. Doesn't sound very healthy. He would anonymously at night have deep spiritual conversations, but he would never acknowledge his questions of spirit and associations with Jesus during the day. Who? I don't know that guy. What? Sounds to me a little like one of my past lives when I was a hypocrite. When I didn't want you to know what I really was. Of course, this did nothing to the essence of who Jesus was, but it traumatically plagued Nicodemus for the rest of his days. The person that suffered from this lack of ability to be himself was Nicodemus, not the person he was visiting. This story shows us the quiet pain that comes from not honoring what we know to be true. Even if all we know to be true are questions. It is even more useful to realize that we each carry. This is good. This is why it's not religious. This is good. It's important to realize we each carry a little Jesus and a little Nicodemus in us. That is, we have a divine inner space, a divine inner voice that opens to the truth. And then we have a social voice that's reluctant to show the truth to others. That's my hypocritical side, the Nicodemus in me. The famous British psychologist D.W. Winnicott called these aspects of our personality our true self and our false self. It is the true self that lets us know what's authentic and what has become artificial, while the false self is a diplomat of distrust, enforcing a lifestyle of guardedness, secrecy, and compliancy. Hypocrisy. In everyday terms, this means that each time we experience a change in reality, the reality we know, we must choose whether to declare or to hide from its truth. Every time we experience a change in reality, we can hide from it, or we can experience the truth of that new reality. At such moments, we either need to bring the way we have been living into accord with the shift of reality, or we can resist the change. We can learn to go with that flow, that new reality, or we can resist it. In daily ways, we live in our true and in our false self, all depending on our willingness to be real. And so over time, staying real becomes the work of keeping our actions, our work, connected to the truth. That's really good. That allows our true self to see the light of day. One more sentence here. Very often we continue out of a habit of fear to behave in old ways, slip into those programs. We know they're not good programs, but we slip into them more often than we want. Time and again, I found myself at this crucial juncture, this slipping time. And of course, I become more and more aware. I'm ready to slip into an old program. My awareness is growing. Well, my true self grows. But here's what will happen. I find myself at this critical juncture. I have to admit that what was essential is no longer essential. We talked about it yesterday. The cocoon is no longer essential. I've now grown out of it. The husks, no longer essential. They were for a time, but I've grown out of them. I've grown into the next phase. It takes courage to admit that sometimes. Sometimes we like to stay in the cocoon. Sometimes we like to stay in the husk. But nature's making us grow. It's giving us our opportunities. This moment of embarrassment when we can't decide, this split living time, it's also a chance to honor what we know is true. For anyone, no matter how wounded or distressed, can in a moment of truth let the God within them show them their world. However small or fleeting, the one repeatable act that we can do, however small, however fleeting, the one repeatable act that we can do is acknowledge our inner self, the true self. Be aware that the false self is trying to speak, and understand that that isn't essential. Good stuff. I'm just going to leave it there for today. All right. Had a good time talking about women. And thank you for letting me express that love. Express that. The what I mean and understand it. And go hug a mom. Go hug somebody that that is a mom. And America is moving in a weird way. I'm not being political, but we're moving in a weird way where we're getting more misogynistic all of a sudden. And we're getting this gender thing going. And we're having this, it's the wrong direction. It's the wrong direction as a tribe, as this big culture. And we can individually change that. If we end up supporting and loving each other and reaching out, we have the opportunity to do that different. And I don't want to get in that tribe. I'm not in that tribe. Don't you see it, Melody? We're moving in a weird direction. And I don't like it. I don't like it. And I know my dad wouldn't either. My dad wouldn't even like it. My dad would be going, stop swiveling. Thank you for letting me to share that story about my dad. I usually am telling everybody about how mean bad he was, but my dad had some amazing qualities too. And he gave quite a few of them to me and my brother. Guys, go have a great day. Go have a great day. We're gonna mirror you guys out of here, okay? Let's mirror you guys out of here. What's I see Pacers, and I see Melody. I see JW, bombastically joyful. I see Nerdy. I see Mike Barry Ball. I see I am a young beast. Young beast, this is my job. I see Jolie, she's looking pretty. Arthur G, I see Penny Pack. Billy D, I see Billy D. Four leaf, there's a four leaf. Bubble gum! I need bubble gum. Sharon M, Laura, have a divine day. Okay, I see Nipper. Happy birthday to Emily, Low Noise House, and Trenty, and Catzilla. I see Marcus the Docus, P. Lar, and Mr. Phillips. I see Cleany. Don't forget, Cleany has a new menu out. Reach out to him. I see Michael Patterson, I love. Saska Mojo. I see a Mojo. Paige, I don't know why I did that. I see Padgy. Padgy wants us to go get vitamin D. Cleany. I see Cleany. I see my mirror moving back and forth. I see me losing my focus. I can't see. Pacers, Kimberly, Married Michael, Nipper, John Zook, and Melissa G, and I see Wazee, and Mike Buddy Bali, and Clean Growy. And if I keep doing this, I'm going to pass out. And Herbie, and Four Leaf Luck, and peace, love, happiness. Hey, 4 things, you guys. 1, be impeccable. 2, don't take things personal. 3, don't make assumptions. 4, I think Pops is doing the best he can. See you later. Have a great weekend. Love you. Mean it.